Here's the audience.
Audience, hey!
And there's Ronnie.
Hello. Are we ready? All right. In 2017, a special report from the United Nations on Extreme Poverty and Human Rights found that the United States, in terms of labor markets, poverty, safety net, wealth inequality, and economic mobility, showed that we were dead last in the top 10 richest nations in the world in 18 out of the 21st first world countries when that list is expanded. That same study has shown that the American dream is now the American illusion, as we are dead last in first world countries in economic mobility. So I, as an American, I've lost all faith in our social mobility and the American dream. And I just pray that in the future that I'll have some sort of economic viability and potential employment in the future as these statistics grow worse and automation displaces more jobs. Our country faces a ton of problems, from income inequality and unprecedented poverty to the coming wave of automation that is believed to displace nearly half of the American workforce, so there is little time to waste. Will we ever be able to escape the rat race and enjoy being human beings, or will we be forever stuck being working beings? I believe a conversation must be had about a universal basic income. According to Professor Philip Alston, the special reporter for the United Nations on Extreme Poverty and Human Rights, income inequality is the #1 problem facing America today. With the latest tax cut for the super wealthy and cuts to entitlement programs like Social Security and Medicare, the gap between the rich and the poor will continue to grow. This has led to the United States having the highest incarceration rates in the world, a horrific opioid/drug problem, the highest infant mortality rates in the world, the highest healthcare expenditure in the world, while being in the lower fourth quartile in healthcare treatment, and many more. So I guess we're really becoming great again, huh? All of these issues can be helped by a universal basic income, a minimum standard of living payment that everybody would qualify for. Literally, all you would do is go down to your local government office, say that I would like to receive universal basic income, and you're approved. Opponents to this would have you believe that income inequality doesn't really affect opportunity, but have you seen the price of college lately? How are you really supposed to afford college on a minimum wage these days? To make matters worse, we're currently in a technological revolution that is set to automate nearly half the American workforce out of employment. Carl Frey and Michael Osborne write about the jobs that are set to be automated in the future of employment, how susceptible jobs are to computerization, and they found that it's not just a minimum wage fry cook down the street that's set to be automated, but engineers, doctors, lawyers, truck drivers, and jobs of every skill level are at risk. Currently, there are few opportunities to retrain and re-education, which are also found to not work. So, for example, when the coal industry imploded in Kentucky, there was a thought that computer programming would be the perfect analog to coal mining. However, the programs that were implemented there had such a low success rate that they had to be scrapped. And now if you look at it, Kentucky has the 47th lowest economy in the United States. I want the opposition to remember this fact when they state that automation will create as many jobs as it displaces. And while it seems to be all doom and gloom, there is a possibility that universal basic income and automation can help human beings to become actual human beings instead of working beings. There's more to life than just working and earning a paycheck, and the universal basic income can help us reach that. How many of you really work a job that you despise? And why do you work that job? Simply to pay bills? Universal basic income can help change that. It can get us to what life should be about. Scott Sinton's shows in Why We Should All Have a Basic Income that money is a great motivator for unfulfilling work, but it's a poor motivator for creative, very fulfilling spiritual work. Why should we spend the short time that we've got on this earth doing jobs that we despise? I truly believe society would be more harmonious and people would still maintain the motivation to work. Further proof of this is seen in Alaska, which has had a form of UBI for years, and they're still working there. Software development is another lucrative career where you can make a lot of money, yet there are free, open source programs still being developed that people could make a lot of money off of. So this fact completely undermines the idea that money motivates people to work. Now that I've shown you some of the problems facing our society, I would be remiss if I didn't offer some sort of solution. We must inform ourselves now of the coming issues to come with automation. We must inform our friends, our families, and our loved ones and elected officials that universal basic income is a forward-thinking solution to the problems that we face now. It could help eliminate some of this income inequality that directly leads to higher incarceration rates, higher drug addiction rates, and so on and so forth. And it also allows us to adjust to the new reality of employment that's coming, that nobody sees. Imagine a world where 50% of every occupation is out of work. 50%. That is a number that experts are calling for in the next 10 to 15 years. And like I said earlier, it's not just the fast food cook. It's everyone that faces it. Teachers, students, everyone's going to face this problem. So we need solutions now while we can still have the time to think about it. The hit to the economy, it's going to be rough. But I think that the positive aspects to this, and there have been studies done in Oakland that private sectors have given out universal basic incomes. And what they found is the economy bloomed, part-time work jumped up, and there were more beneficial aspects to it. The opposition is we can have a huge hit to the economy that will be enough to turn the richest part of the country into third world countries. We're already in the midst of this revolution, and every day that we wait to discuss this or turn it into political bickering, we dramatically increase the risk of leaving our children a desolate wasteland. Now, is that really the world we want to leave behind? Finally, I'm not saying that universal basic income is the end-all, be-all, magical band-aid for all of society's problems, but I'm saying that it is one of the solutions that help us get there. We must call our elected representatives and start this conversation. We must truly think about the future and inform ourselves of the real issues. The real question I leave you isn't who's going to pay for this if we do this program. The real question is who's going to pay for this if we don't do it. Thank you.
I'm gonna send you this radio.
It's only 3 minutes.
Is it?
Yeah.
What?
How long did it have to be?
No, that was 7 minutes.